So today's ride is Bontoc, out of the mountains to Vigan. As a history lesson, our first trip was from Manila to Cabanatuan. Then we went to the surfing capital, Baler. Next, up the coast and over the mountains to Santiago. Then to Gigarao and stops in Piat and Rizal. Next to the hidden beaches of Santa Ana. We were thwarted in our efforts to go along the northern coast of Luzon because of the landslide. I retreated to the Blue Falls, and that was the most amazing experience I've had so far. Then to the landslides and dangerous roads of the mountain province. And now on our way to Vigan. Goodbye to the interesting and unique mountain town of Bontoc. Hoping the ride is easier today because that last trip was pretty tough. Okay, this isn't looking good. And anyway, isn't this really dangerous? Couldn't a rock just fall on my head at any moment? The roads are so much better. I'm really glad because last time was pretty tough. And there are some spectacular views. I had to stop for a few minutes and just look at this river. Just beautiful. Okay, it's been about 90 minutes now and we've obviously left the mountains. The roads are really good and the views are nice. I've seen a lot of rice fields, but these are still beautiful. I've been really happy with the road conditions. Oops, I guess I spoke too soon. It's a little bit rough here, but it's not that bad. At least I don't have to worry about falling to my death. We are obviously in civilization now. And we've arrived in Vigan. I had no idea why Vigan was famous. People just kept telling me, oh, you've got to go to Vigan. It's a really amazing place. It's really cool. It immediately became obvious why it's famous. This is a 450-year-old Spanish colonial city, and it's a UNESCO historical site. Picturesque Spanish architecture, cobblestone streets. This is a unique city. Vigan really comes alive at night. The main part of the city becomes a walking street. There are dozens of shops selling souvenirs and food. And the only traffic are horse-drawn carriages. There are hundreds of families and couples and friends browsing along the shops and enjoying the scenery. I'm guessing that before COVID, a lot of the people who came here were actually foreign tourists, but now it's almost all locals. I didn't buy any souvenirs because I've got zero room in my motorcycle for anything more than what I already have. And of course, plenty of people taking pictures. There were a couple of cafes and restaurants that had tables on the streets, and I would have probably eaten something, but I just wasn't hungry. It looked fun though. After a couple of hours, it was time to head back to the hotel and have a nice night's sleep. The next day, I decided to go hang out at the mall. In the Philippines, just the same as in Thailand, the mall isn't just a place to go buy clothes. You go there on the weekend and hang out with your friends and maybe get something to eat and maybe go to a coffee shop and maybe buy some clothes. But the main thing is just hanging out. Hey, it's air conditioned. The restaurants are always packed on weekends. It's just the place to be to hang out with family and friends.
We went out of the club and we started walking the streets, and then we stopped for a while and you said you wanna kiss me. Remember thinking, is this really happening? I never thought I'd meet someone so beautiful.
And then I saw a Starbucks. One thing that this trip has taught me is that I like civilization. I like nicely paved roads and shops that are open 24 hours and internet. You guys who have these dreams of living in some remote place, you can have it. That night I went to a local night market. Shops selling food and clothes and other things like that. Nothing at all unique about it. Same kind of market you can probably find in almost every town and city in the Philippines. I generally prefer these places to the touristy spots. I found a shop selling empanadas, which are considered a local vegan cuisine.
We'll watch him make his empanada.
And I figured out why they sell empanadas and menudo here. Because while the Spanish controlled the Philippines, they also controlled Mexico. And they actually ran the Philippines out of Mexico, which is why you can get menudo and empanadas in the Philippines.
These empanadas are way better than vegan empanadas. They have a lot more stuff in them. They're yummy.
I've had an interesting time in Vigan, but it's time to move on to the next challenge. Let's go! So join me on this adventure. Let's go!